Alright guys, my apologies. I had messed up on the last few pairs. My train of thought kind of got lost there. Um, so I ended off messing up on NZD CAD. So let me just start off there, and then I'm going to go off into the next two pairs, and those are our last pairs for this market review. Okay, so what we had been talking about was how we saw price bounce at range high, ended up trading towards these highs, and was rejected at that level. And this is why I always advocate profit taking, because we have these clean highs over here, and on the higher time frames it looked quite bullish. It looked like we could have had potential to continue trucking forward. However, these clean highs, price was swiftly rejected at that level, and then from there we didn't even stop. We just completely just dumped from there. So that's why I always say, when you have a target, stick to your target. Don't deviate from it. Don't get greedy, and you also don't want to be too soft on yourself. And you want to make sure that you actually, realize the full potential of your setup, and not cut your position a little early. Cut it exactly where it's supposed to be. So that's what I was talking about when it came to that. So now we're seeing price trade back below range high. We're just seeing price trade at demand at range EQ. So there's a lot of demand at this level, so I'm looking for longs here. Very clear, very simple. And at the moment, I'm watching for price to hopefully sweep these lows over here into this clear demand zone. And I want to see price sweep these lows, reclaim them, and from there I'll be long to these highs over here, for a very nice, well-structured setup. So we have these. The reason why I'm looking for this is because we have these this low from last week, still set in place. We're seeing strength here, so there's definitely potential for price to not sweep the low. However, we have this untested, untapped demand zone right over here. It says down move right before this extremely large up move. So I think there's good potential to see price trade lower into that level, tap it, retest, reclaim a range low, and then retest it and trade higher from there. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm bullish on the New Zealand dollar this week for sure. Going on into the beginning of the week, I think we could see some price trade to higher liquidity before we potentially trade lower. However, that's what I'm looking at for this week. Okay, now let's move on into the last two pairs. We have Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So I'm going to keep this one on the hourly, so we can just focus on this range. So I'm looking for some shorts on the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. The reason is because we're seeing price completely take out this entire liquidity zone right over here. Sorry, I meant for that to be this. So price completely tapped this entire liquidity zone. Let me take this X out. And we had a lot of supply over here. So it was just a ton of supply at these levels. The price was rejected at perfectly. And now we're seeing price kind of trade below that level. So I'm thinking that we're going to see some consolidation here probably, and then we're going to see price trade back towards EQ. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for some shorts. I'm not looking to fill just yet. I'll probably look for price to tap this higher supply zone, put my SL just above there, and then I'll look for shorts targeting over here. I'd get a bit skeptical if we start to reclaim range high here fully. I kind of want to see a swift sweep and then break back below. However, if we kind of start to reclaim it and start to consolidate above, I'd become a little bit more skeptical of my short bias, and probably let go of that bias, and probably wait for just price to develop a little bit more. And of course, bullish invalidation would just be a clean break above this level. We'll trade higher from there for sure. So that's what I'm looking at for this pair. Now let's move on into the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, which is our last pair for this review. Okay, so this is something quite similar that we're watching to our other New Zealand pairs. We're seeing price trade at demand. This down move right over here before this larger up move. And we're seeing price kind of trade towards these lows. We also have this demand right over here. It's like this range EQ from this range demand formed around there. So we're seeing price hold around here. I'm not too really confident on any plays here. However, I will be watching these lows. Obviously, if we sweep these lows into demand, I'll probably look for longs on a reclaim, retest and reclaim of that level, targeting higher liquidity. But other than that, I'm not really watching for anything else. We're trading at support, so want to be careful, of course. So I'm going to be looking for a move to potentially for higher liquidity. And that could be, obviously, it could be a higher time frame short, as I was mentioning in my other setups. We could have a short setup right over here to break back below these lows, because obviously this demand has been tested quite a bit. We have a lot of demand over here that's untested, so I wouldn't doubt to see price continue to trade lower in the higher time frames. But this week I'm going to be looking for longs on this pair potentially, and I'm just going to be focusing on longs on the other New Zealand dollar pairs as well. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for this entire market review, guys. I apologize for messing up the end of the last one. I'm not the best at editing either, so I'm just going to be leaving it like that. Kind of in a hurry to get this thing out because I know the market's open and we're getting ready to start diving into our setups. So I'm going to be doing a recap on everything, of course, all of the most crucial setups. I'm going to be doing a recap of those in written updates, and also be getting to written updates on BTC and ETH and also our altcoins as well. So other than that, guys, we're ready to go. I hope we have a great, fantastic week, and I'm ready to kill it. So again, as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything, just let me know. You feel free to DM me or ping me in the chat channels, whatever you need, and I'll get to you guys. So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and let's kill it this week, guys. Have a good one.